Wow. Alright, so this is the 5th episode in my Amazon FBA series. I just got done like making sure the shipment was alright. Just like my my quote for my Flexport account was approved, and my shipment through Amazon, the like send and replenish shipment is good to go, and everything like labeled and the SKU and stuff like that. Like, so that's all good. So things that I like was confusing, and like I really didn't know what I was doing. So things like that, like I feel like that was probably like the most, like that's what people want to hear. Like things that threw me off and like I didn't like really understand. So when you are buying from a supplier, so this is your supplier. So when you were buying from, so this is you. This is Amazon. So when you're buying from a supplier to Amazon, there's a couple things that you have to do. My frame should be, okay. So when you're buying from a supplier and you're sending it to Amazon, there's a couple things that you need to do. So when you are making your product, so this is your product. Let's say it is, I don't know. Let's say it's a hammock, because that's what a lot of people say. So let's say your product is a hammock. So if your hammock is, let's say, if you bought, I'm just going to give you a very, so you have two hammocks here. So you have one that's green and one that's yellow. So if you had only one, if your product was only green and you're shipping the green product to Amazon without the yellow one, you would only need one UPC code. But because you have two different products, you're gonna have to buy two different UPC codes. So this is gonna be one UPC, and this is gonna be number 2 UPC. And what is a UPC code? A UPC code is literally on everything that you buy. So if you bought an iPhone that is silver from Apple, it's going to have a UPC code. But if you bought a rose gold one, the UPC code is going to be different because the variation of the product is different. So with every variation, you're going to have a new UPC code. But if, let's say, if you bought 500 units from your supplier, would you need 500 UPC codes? No. You need one UPC code for every variation that you're buying from your supplier. So once you have your UPC code and you have your product, like you know what your product is, you have your UPC code for the product to put on it. You have to have, or you don't have to have, but it's highly recommended in order to get your product sold, I guess you could say. So the way to do this is you buy what they call it is a color box. I didn't know that, but in China they call it a color box. So you need a color box. I'm gonna call it a box. So what is a color box? So when you're buying a product from your supplier without a color box, they're going to ship it with just the product. So if you bought an iPhone, my iPhone needs to be charged, but we can use it as this analogy. So if you bought an iPhone from your supplier without a color box, it would come in like a little like bag or something. So it would come in like a black ugly bag. So would someone buy that? I mean, if it's an Apple product, probably, but more people would buy it if it came in the iconic Apple packaging. So that's what I'm trying to say. So when you're making a product and you're buying a product from your supplier, it's night and day from what I have researched. So buy a color box from. So what you do is, so we're gonna call this you, and then like the internet is over here. So online is the internet. So how are you gonna design a color box? How are you gonna figure this out? So when you have your product and all that good stuff, you go online and you go to a website called Fiverr, the one-stop shop for all of your things that you can't do. So once you go on Fiverr, you can find freelancers that do like product design, packaging design, things like that. So logos, stuff like that. So you go online, you find someone that does designing for packaging, and then you contact them, you message them, you pay them the money, and then and make sure you actually like do research, like make sure it's like a good guy, because like I got ripped off once. But yeah, so make sure it's a reputable person. That just goes like without saying, but I just say it because I don't want anyone to be taken advantage of. So you go online, you go on Fiverr, you find someone that does it, and then you pay them, and then you get your design. And one thing that you need to know, this is the key idea. I don't know what to call it. So when you also when you go online, you need to go on a website that has UPC codes and make sure there's like a word, but I forgot what the word is. Just make sure like you can buy UPC codes like on eBay, like on all, but it's not real. Make sure when you buy a UPC code, it's from a trusted company. So when you go online, make sure also you buy UPC codes. So this UPC code is going to go on your packaging. So how are you going to get it on your packaging? That's a great question. So when you go online and you get your packaging designed, make sure you send them the UPC code so they can put it on the packaging, so then you don't have to pay extra money for Amazon to do it for you. And it just makes it your margins better, which is good. So what are we doing now? So we got our product done. We got the amazing looking product because we went above and beyond and bought it from a freelancer on Fiverr, and we got our UPC code on the product. And also, when you have your UPC code, so it's like this. It's like that thing. You know what this thing is? It's a UPC code. I mean, it kind of looks like a UPC code. And there's like different numbers down here. So that's what a UPC code looks like. What you also need to do, and this is the major part, in order to sell a product from China on Amazon, you need to make sure this right here says Made in China. Make sure it says that, because if it doesn't, then you're shit out of luck. All right, so all right, so quick overview. All right, so you got your beautiful looking color box right here from Fiverr. You got the UPC code on the box. So boom, we got all that. So next, what are you gonna do? All right, so once you get all this done, so once you get your product done, you got to work on the shipping for it. So I'm gonna quickly erase this. So just like take a picture of that or something. I don't know. All right, so I'm just gonna remove this. Remove this. All right. All right. So boom. All right. So, and then also what we need is online. So, all right. So, Flexport. Boom. All right. So if you want to do it right, you want to do it good, you don't want to make sure you get all of your money lost, which would be very bad. So what you do is you go online, you go on a website called Flexport, and what Flexport does is this is amazing, all right? So what Flexport does is it finds someone from China that's hired by Flexport, and it's like, hey, can you go over to Here, wait. All right, so this is your product right here. So product is your hammock, I think I said. All right, so what they do is they find someone in the area that your product is in. So like, let's say Billy lives in China and is hired by Flexport to take the guy there, goes over to your supplier's warehouse where when your product is done being manufactured and everything's good. So when it's done, and you got so you have to create an order or a quote. Quote. So you go online, you go on Flexport, you create an account on Flexport, you have you create a quote on there, and what a quote is it just says, are you willing to pay this amount to get your product to Amazon? All right, so boom, and it just goes over the fees and stuff. So once you go on Amazon, or once you go online and go on Flexport, and you get a quote done, and like everything is good with it, and it gets accepted, and then you accept it and you pay for it. Someone from Flexport's business company is gonna go over to your supplier's warehouse, is gonna take your product to wherever you like, depending on if you do FOB or like EWX. I'm doing EWZ, something like that. What it means is my products stay at the warehouse, and then I pay Flexport to take the product at the warehouse to ship it to Amazon. So what happens is, and like before all this happens, what you got to do, and this is good for me so I understand like everything. So what you have to do is you have to go online too, and you got to go to Amazon. I know you can't read it, but just so you know. So you go on online, you go on Amazon, you create a label like for your shipment, your shipping plan. So when you create a shipping plan on Amazon, I forgot about this. So when you create a quote on Flexport, you also have to create a shipping plan on Amazon. So when you get your like everything done, you don't have to have like all of like the like shipping, like all the like correct weights and stuff like that. You can figure that out just by like understanding like what the color box weighs and the product weighs, and you can just do that. So you go online, you go on Amazon, you create a shipping plan on Amazon, and this will give you a label to give to your supplier, and then it goes on your box. It goes on the carton, not on each individual product. It goes on the carton of all of the products. So yes. All right. So when your supplier's done manufacturing the products, you should already have your quote done, because it takes a while for someone on Flexport to approve it. So if you don't want it to leave it there at the warehouse, it's going to take some time when someone goes there. So you can just be ahead of the game and create a quote on Flexport before your supplier is done manufacturing the products. So just to go over it again, so this is like the confusing part of Amazon FBA. So private label. All right, so when you go online and you go and you create an account on Flexport, you need to create a quote in order to be able to ship your product to Amazon. So also, before Flexport can ship it, you need to create, in order to actually understand where you're shipping it to, you need to create a shipping plan on Amazon to actually be able to get it to Amazon. So I hope that makes sense. So when you create a shipping plan on Amazon, you're gonna get a label right there, a label that you need to get your supplier to put on the carton. So if you have like 250 units, you're probably gonna get like 2 or 3 cartons. So when for each carton that you have, or your manufacturer or supplier in China like has put all the products in, you're gonna have to get a label from Amazon, and this just says to from and then like a, it looks like that, kind of like this, and then it has like this over here, and then just some words and stuff. So this just lets Amazon know whose products these are, so they can actually update your like Seller Central account in order to be able to show you that, yay, your products are in. So I'm pretty sure that's it. So also, don't leave yet. So hopefully before, I would hope so before. So how do you get your products to sell on Amazon? This is a tough one. So how to get your products to sell? So first, you have to have a listing. All right, you gotta have a listing. You have to have a good listing, a pro listing. A pro listing. All right, also, you gotta have reviews. You gotta have them reviews. All right. And you also have to have, wait for it, you gotta have a good product. All right. So how do you have a pro listing? This is a tough one. This is a very tough one. So in order to have a pro listing, this is very hard. You look for other pro listings and you copy them. Look at that. You don't copy like all of it. You just wait for it. All right. So this is what I do. So I find 5 pro lists. All right. So it doesn't have to be in the same niche. It just has to be a very good seller, and like you'll know what a good listing looks like. You'll just know. Like, and you could have 5. You should like 10, 15 if you want. If you just want to go all out. So, what do you do with these listings? So, I'm sure it's self-explanatory, but what you do with these listings is what I do is you can do it. I just put all of the words. So let's say for their title of like what the product is. So you're allowed to have like a lot of words in order to like that, if you understand what SEO is. So the first word on your listing will get like ranked first. So let's say if you're doing a hammock, and someone is searching, so your product is a hammock, what's the keyword that someone's going to search in order to find that product? So let's say if it's getting in the summertime, people are going out and doing blank. They're going out and they're camping. So what you do is the first word that you put in there is the highest searched keyword. So, and you can do this a lot of ways. So you can, I'm pretty sure Google has Google Trends. So you can go on there and you can find which words are being searched more at certain times. So you can do like camping, and then you can do like maybe even like outdoor sports. Like it doesn't have to be like necessarily words. It just has to be words that people are going to search to find your listings. And you can, like, what I'm doing is I'm actually using other words in different like sub niches, I guess you could say, just so I'm able to catch those people that are actually searching for, ooh, that scared me, for like different things. So like camping, you could do like outdoor sports or something like that. So the list goes on. So make sure like you understand like this is the first word. So most people actually put like what their company is for this first word, which is actually wrong. You want to make sure that you're leveraging like all these words in here, and then maybe at the last one you actually put what your like company is, and make sure like you actually put hammock in like one of these, like, but not the first one, because you're gonna get more search results from using camping rather than hammock, because camping is the niche of hammocks. So you use the niche of what your product is in order to get more number one reviews, the clickies and stuff like that. So yeah, all right. All right. So once you got that done, and then so let's say this is your product right here. So your product, and then you got your title right here, and then you got your description right here. So your description on what the product is. So how do you get a good one of these? You just go ahead and you look at your other pro lists from that you searched. So let's say you're doing camping, so maybe you want something in the camping industry to get an idea of what to use. So you can do like I'm not really sure, maybe like a 10 or something like that. Just an idea. I'm super sore. So yeah, so you use these lists that you already have, and you're like, okay, so this is what people are using that works. This is what people are using. And then you literally just don't like literally copy it word for word. You might get in trouble for that. Don't do that. And I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying you use these lists in order to have an idea of what people are using that works, in order to have a well-rounded listing. So also for the bottom. So when you scroll down, you actually get an idea of what the like product looked like. So you can actually put like pictures and things like that. You can actually, what I'm doing is you can actually go on the Fiverr. You know what that is? The Fiverr. So you go on Fiverr, and you can actually get someone to get if you're not good with like Adobe and stuff like that. I'm sure like you can go online, do it for free, but I would rather someone do it for me, just because I want it to look better than if I did it. Even though if I did it, it would look good, I would want it to look better than what I can. So I would go on Fiverr and search for Amazon product listings or something like that. So in order to find someone that does Photoshop for your pictures. So so you have your product right here, and then you have like, I think it's like 8 pictures you can have. Something like that. So you have your pictures right here, and then you can also, on the bottom, you can add more pictures. So you can add like pictures of like what the product helps with, like maybe like the quality of the product. So like you can have like here, I'll give you an example. So this is your product right here, and then like maybe like there's like little circles on the outside, and like goes in like it uses triple threading quality, whatever. So it just like goes to show like people that like, wow, this is actually a really good product. It's better than everyone else's because we actually did this. We actually show them that. So yeah, so that's how you actually like, I mean, there's a lot of other things that go into it, but this is just an idea, you know? So this is what you can go off of, I guess. So boom. All right, we got our oopsies. All right, we got a pro listing. We got reviews to go over, and then we got the product. All right. So how do you get reviews? There's a whole bunch of ways. So Amazon's reviews are changing and things like that. So you need to be aware of that. So how do you get reviews? You can bribe people. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I'm just trying to be funny. All right. So how do you get reviews? Amazon has a bunch of ways that you can give away products in order for people to do it, but you can also don't tell them. All right. You can go on Facebook. Boom. You can go on Amazon. Don't tell them. All right. So how to get reviews? Search on Facebook for groups. And what you want to do is you want to find people that are willing to give you a review. So, there's a lot of ways of getting reviews. In order for your product to actually get to a good rank without ads and stuff like that, PPC, Facebook ads and stuff like that, reviews are the #1 way to get a good ranking. So, how do you get reviews? You can do giveaways of your product. You can just make sure you can lower the price of your product in order to get sales, and then hopefully people will give you reviews. But if you know, there's only like a 1% probability of actually getting a review from people who buy it. So it's very low. It's very low. It used to be like you can just have your like families and friends do it, but Amazon's actually like cutting down on that. So that's bad. So what you do is you don't pay people. You just be like, hey, if you buy my product, you give me a solid review, I'll pay you back, kind of a thing. So that's what people are doing. I mean, that's all right. And the last one is, how do you have a good product? This is a tough one. It's a tough one. So, in order to have a good product, you have to make sure you did all the things that I said right. So, product research is the biggest thing. So, understanding the product that you're buying, is it gonna sell? So, oh, you're gonna buy, you're gonna go on Amazon and search watches. You're gonna buy a bunch of watches. No, you want to find products that have. All right, this is a little secret tip I'm giving you guys. So, find products that have, or niches or products that have like the whole like about, I'm gonna say the max. So maybe like 10 to like 250. So find a product that has like 10, like the whole, like you look down the list and you make sure that like the product, like the maximum one only, you can do higher, like it's just like a better idea, like you can sell better if you're, so it's easier to get up there. So find a product that actually has 10 to 250 reviews. So why would I do that? You do that so you know that there isn't a lot of competition for that product, and you know, like, oh, I'm gonna do Amazon FBA and I'm gonna buy a camping tent, a hammock. No. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, like, literally look. All right, so what you do is you scroll all the way down on the bottom of the page. So let's say do tent. So you look, so you want to sell tents. All right, so what you do is you look all the way down at the bottom of the page. Look how many pages there are. Like that's what you're gonna find. Like 1, 2, then plus 100. Like that's how many different people are selling the product, and it would be very hard. Like, is it possible? Yes, but it's very hard to get your product to be #1 when people are selling tents with 10,000 reviews on it, and you're trying to get #1 ranking with 5 reviews. See what I mean? So that's how you have a good product, and you also have a good product by actually branding it right. So going on Fiverr and actually finding someone and buying the color box. So yeah, so if this video is helpful in any way, give it a like. If you want to see more